beautiful. Surprised actually, because I come here before and I come for an England football match. It's very hard to see a city when you're travelling away with English football fans. Pretty much because everyone wants to fight you. So, and all the Russians wanted to fight you. But coming here, it's so different this time, seeing it. And it's clean, it's beautiful. And my colleague said the food was shit. We're going to see in a minute, but everything's been great, isn't it? Everything's been sound. In fact, what was that called where we went last night, yesterday? And all the lights outside. It just was beautiful. Red Square's beautiful. I was surprised just at how nice it is. In fact, I'm gutted. My visa's for a week, isn't it? I want to come back with the wife. I think it's a beautiful city. It's true, I go to London. I don't like London. I hate London. I hate it. All I see is I see aggressiveness and attitude as a culture now in a lot of the youngsters. I haven't seen one single bit that hit. Not at all. So, yeah, might move to Russia.
Express yourself.
My main social media platform now is Telegram.
Моя основная социальная платформа это Telegram.
It's Telegram. But that is, even I've looked at MeWe, but we've been looking at TikTok as well in China. So it's crazy that British citizens have to look to Russia or even to China to have some freedom of speech.
Но также я смотрела платформу TikTok.
Hey guys. Worlds apart. Freedom of speech is one of the pillars of democracy and also the one that in the West is perceived as being in greatest peril. With the left claiming that it has become a vehicle co-opted by the right to spread hate, and the right deriding the left as sinister, snowflake censors. Just what are the boundaries of free speech?
I thought it was funny. I never know until I watch them back. So I hope I didn't come across too hard on her. She seemed very nice, but she doesn't understand the issue she's talking about. And they can't stop the fact that I'm talking about Islam, idea, book, Muhammad. Not every single Muslim. They can't get that. If someone criticises Christianity, we don't say, hold on, you're going to insult every Christian. No one cares. So if I'm talking facts, but I thought it was alright. It was a good debate. It was a good. I haven't done one for a while, as I'm banned from all British TV. But I just wish I ended it with. I should have said.
Yes, it's Sunday.
You've earned this, darling. You've earned this, sweetheart. But no, it
official Dimmy merchandise.
Official Dimmy merchandise. I thought it was interesting, and to be honest, the debate has to be had. So. I just hope when I watch it back I didn't come across too sort of standoff with her. My favourite moment. Well, I don't know if it's my favourite or whether it's bad. When I said to her, does your husband beat you up? Because I'm talking, what the point I'm making by that is the Quran says he can, okay?
But he doesn't.
But he doesn't. So that's good, okay? Because the majority of Muslims don't follow what it tells them to do. But that doesn't mean that that's not problematic, because then you have Muslims that do beat their wives and they justify it using this verse.
There is no law against domestic abuse in Kuwait, for example.
There's no law?
No law.
No, that's it, because of Islam. But that's the point in it. And she can't fathom that. She can't fathom that what I'm saying is, I'm not saying her husband's a bad person. What I'm saying is he's a good person, but that's not nothing to do with Islam. She tries to think, well, my husband's great and that's because he's a Muslim. No, it's not because he's a Muslim. It's just because he's a nice bloke. And being a Muslim must be part of his cultural identity. Part of his identity, which I understand that. That's why I said, I bet your husband has a beer. I bet he bets.
She didn't answer that.
No, she didn't. No. Because he does, because I know he does. But from what I understand after talking to people, they don't have the problems we have. But I think the problems we have, because I have Muslims in Biggleswade, which is a town not far from Luton, there's no mosque, and they've all integrated sound. It's like they're Muslim when they get inside their house. You know what I mean? A bit like Sikhs. It's not in your face. And I think a lot of the problem comes from the influence of the mosques. And the influence of the mosque promotes the intolerance or the separate. But anyway, yeah, it went well. And we're going to go eat, because that's all I do, is eat. And Edvard picked the best restaurant earlier, mate. By the way, Edvard asked the host to name the 5 pillars of Islam, if she's so but she couldn't name one. But but most people can't. That's it. Most people can't. So she's a normal lady who's in a decent relationship with her husband, and she's just seeing that what I'm saying is so far away from who he is. But she can't fathom that I'm not talking about him. None of them seem to be able to get it. I'm talking about a book and an idea. But we're getting a night train, aren't we?
Yes.
And 600 miles we go?
600 miles.
600 miles tonight. And we'll wake up in St. Petersburg. And we'll eat again. Step into my abode, where it's 25 degrees. 22 degrees
Tommy
out
Robinson, fake news, not 25.
here. 22 degrees. We are on a night train. We're about to set off from Moscow to St. Petersburg. It's 8.5 hour trip. But I've got my own room, so my mate Nathan's meant to be here. And Nathan, we'll make sure this is going in. I know you're bullshitting that your passport didn't come. I know you're lying, you just didn't want to come. Just be honest, mate. Alright? It's been a good trip so far. But yeah, my mate's meant to be there. Look at what we've got to eat, look. Like, come on, Russia. The war's over, man. Well, yeah, this is us for the night, man. So, I'm tired anyway, because we hardly got any sleep the first night. We left England at like 4 in the morning, so we didn't sleep that night. We're going to St. Petersburg, where I will be giving my talk. So, I've planned a talk, I planned a speech, start to finish. I'm worried still, man. It's a bit long. I've been trying to cut it down and cut it down. We've done a practice run the other night, but it's long. But I think to get all the points in, as long as it's engaging, I don't know how engaging it'll be to a Russian audience who don't speak English. But if it's engaging, like my talk at Denmark's Parliament was an hour and 15 minutes. My Oxford Union address was an hour and 17. I think this is about an hour and a half. But it's got important issues that I want to prove. I want to start to finish the history of the rape jihad in our country, but also put in testimonies from the victims and the perpetrators and look to see if this is Islamic. If the reason that 84% of the convictions are Muslim men, is there a link? There has to be. All over Europe, all the men, they're common denominator between them, which we should be searching for. If you want to stop it, you've got to understand it. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Do you like my slippers? I'd have come just to get these. These back. I am so hot. It is so warm in here. I know you can't see through there how hot it is, but it's boiling. I'm dreading the night in here. I sleep at home with a fan right here, massive fan, and the window open. Yeah, come on, let's have a look. John Sweeney, you was on here once, weren't you? When you had a job. This is our toilet. And this is what I would be firing at the lads if I had a few beers. That's my party trick, everyone knows it. Fire extinguisher comes out. But yeah. We'll wake up in St. Petersburg, and when we wake up in St. Petersburg, we'll have 24 hours till the Tyson Fury fight. So the first priority when we get there is finding somewhere that's got the boxing. And I've messaged the host. I said, the boxing, mate, that's all I actually care about. Where's the boxing on? Yeah. But we'll see. Be good. Night. Night, boys. It's cooler where we are. And they look like cheese and onion, but they ain't. Which has done my head in, if I'm honest. I thought they were cheese and onion. That's what I'm bothered about, mate. Is that they're not cheese and onion. Blue are cheese and onion in England, right? We're on, it was too hot, man. So we're on, in the bar. I am going to go to bed in a minute though, I don't care how hot it is. Got a big day tomorrow. So what we've come to Russia for is tomorrow. It's for the presentation, start to finish. And yeah, I'll be relaxed once I've done that. Oh mate, what have we got, 8.5 hours? Russian food. I went TGI Fridays, mate. I went straight to the train station to see TGI Fridays. Do you know what it was? I FaceTimed my kids earlier today, and they was in TGI Fridays in Milton Keynes. And I love TGI Fridays, man. So I was like, we walked into the train station, as soon as I see TGI Fridays, I was like, there. I am sleeping, man.
Look at him.
I'm going to go to bed. I slept alright. It got colder, didn't it?
Yeah, it got colder. It's early, isn't it? So.
Baltic Tommy strikes again. the interpreter, the interpreter, who was due to live translate what I'm saying to the Russian audience, has pulled out because she's read my Wikipedia page. I can't help it, man. I'm in Russia and I've got someone offended about what I talk about. So we'll see how the speech goes. This is a libertarian movement, so there's many on the left in the audience. I don't want her to confuse, which is why I start off my speech saying my central argument is not all Muslims are involved in this. My central argument is that there's a link between the crimes being committed in my country and scripture-based support for it. But yeah, I think now Mikhail, who's invited me, he's going to translate. Live translation's hard, no? If this was an English audience, I'm sound. I'm going out there and I'm just firing on all cylinders, mate. Because it's a Russian audience and I know there's a breakdown in relationship in language, I'm a little bit nervous. And I want to, because of the topic I'm talking about, and it's the first real sort of lecture I've given it, or presentation I've given it, it's such an important issue, I think, especially bearing in mind this morning's news, that the government are not going to make their findings public. Why not? Why won't you tell us what's happening with these gangs? Why won't you tell us the motive of these gangs so we can stop it? They're scared. So I'm going to do it instead.
But before I start, my central argument is not that all Muslims engage in this activity. It is simply that there is a direct link between the scripture and the acts we see in our towns and cities. She had seen other English girls being taken upstairs by Pakistanis who picked them up in a certain cafe. That may sound familiar to the recent Rotherham news. Let me read you one more extract. One English girl came down the stairs and said she'd been paid 4 shillings. Shillings is an old currency from the 1970s. That newspaper article is from 1975.
If politicians aren't going to stick up for us, we will make them, because we will cause so much fuss and so much noise, they're going to have to listen. We will not back down or be beaten into submission. We don't care if you call us racists. We are coming anyway. We're going to continue doing it until someone listens. A society that cannot defend its children has no future. I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I visited Moscow last in 2008, and this has been such a different experience. Any English fans that come to watch England play Russia in 2008 know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's a beautiful city. I've made some good friends. I've been invited back to address the Russian Duma, which is their parliament. And I found out a lot as well. I've been surprised about some of their immigration problems. Surprised about how their people feel as well at risk, or that the Russian people aren't protected from immigrant crime. In fact, a lot of what we talk about at home, I've heard from a lot of Russians here. So I think it's important that we see Russia as not part of the West, whereas it is. The Russian people couldn't have been any nicer. I feel welcomed, and to anyone else, I'd advise visiting here, whether it be for a trip. The first thing I'm going to do when I get home, I've already messaged my wife saying we're going to Moscow. It's a beautiful country, and I think that it's good to form relationships, and anyone I'm told to hate by the British elite and the media, I question. And I know, of course, there's going to be problems. There's problems in Russia. There are problems, but our country portrays itself as something it's not. We portray ourselves as the bastion of free speech. We are the home of free speech. Everyone has freedoms. We're a great democracy. In reality, we're far from that. But I've had a great trip in Russia, and I'll be coming back.
Yeah, Joe. What's on the phone back? Save the terrorism laws. How do I feel? Gutted. I ain't got my phone. I was just thinking that. But I generally, do you know what? My heart drops every time I come to the cut. When I'm with my wife and kids, I've been nicked there 3 times. 3 times, bro. Once when I had my wife and kids with me at midnight, and 5 suitcases. I'm like, and some other bloke who had been on the plane just come over and goes, mate, I'll make sure they get home. And he sorted it out. But yeah, we're back, mate. We're back. Let's get back to it. Good shot. So, repacked. They've gone through that, all right? So it's called security check. That's why they didn't stop me at the airport. They had the phone.
This is what Tommy thinks a Big Mac is.
This is a Big
Fucking
Mac.
nothing but cheese and
Wait till
patties.
it comes.
It's fucking. What is wrong with you?
Wait till it comes, bro. I'll get a double cheeseburger as well. So that's a meal, yeah, I want chips. I can't say a word.
Hospitable.
The Russian people couldn't have been more nope, can't say. I'm not going to say. Hospitable.
Could have been nicer if you wanted to do Luke in English.
Okay, we rolling.
You see me rolling.
If the men in Britain are so weak, are there any feminists in Britain that are defending women?
Oh no.
Yeah.
No. The feminists defend Islam.
Феминистки там защищают ислам.
The feminists put on hijab.
Феминистки носят хиджабы.
The third wave feminism.